I'm a little bit I'm a little bit burnt out. I need like some, like I thought last week was going to be like, just, throw out some China videos and all that. And like, now all kinds of shit's happening in the Ethereum world. Then this week I was going to do like, well, I'll just throw out some Ripple shit. And then like Afghanistan is like melting and like, I can't like stop. So I just keep doing, but I think by noon, we're going to have the Discord channel up, and that's going to really change some things. I mean, I think we have like 170 people in the queue. So nice. That's some serious cash flow. And, other than just celebrating, I mean, I look at it as like, wow, like all the things that we can do. For example, I'm a big realvision.com Raoul Paul guy. And I know their internal design guy. I don't know him, but I just have talked to him several times over the last year. And we tried to reach out to each other about it 3 weeks ago or something like that. And I would like to do an interview with Raoul, and I think we have to pay for it. So we would have the money to do things like that. I'd like to do an interview with our attorneys. I have several attorneys that I'd like to interview. I mean, like I know some really, really good ones. And that would be great stuff behind the Discord wall. Because it goes beyond just a little bit beyond like crypto and investment advisory. I think it goes to the kind of I think this is the way business is going to be done. And it'll be, my kids will like not just open an LLC to start a business. Everything will be tokenized. Like you'll wake up in the morning, you'll either create an NFT or a token, or everything will be sort of like that digitized format is the way we throw, the ball around, so to speak. So that's my deep thought for you. The other thing, Landon said he was going to reach out to Jenny and really talk about, he's become like, it's good that he's not here as we can talk about him. That was a joke. Hold on, I got to send one text and I'm good to go. I got to wish somebody happy birthday. There we go. He's going to become like the final filter by which everything goes through digitally, like a producer or something like that. And so far, I think he's doing a good job. He's sort of pushing me like, you should do this, or we need this to finish this up. And it's actually helping me a little bit by having somebody who can, spur you along. And so I think the next big thing, Jenny, is you, I think, no, it'll really help me because I don't know how these DAO things are going to work, right? That's the whole concept of a DAO is like, you can sort of build it, it has like a certain structure to it, but then it's going to morph and you don't know, what's going to be successful, what people want. Like when I do TikTok videos, I really have no idea what's going to be popular and what doesn't. I mean, it's bizarre. Like, I don't know, just like in the last couple of days, I put some stuff up that I thought was really interesting and nobody gives a shit. And then like other things, it's thousands and thousands of views. I really don't understand how it works. But I think DAOs are a little bit like that, and that's what's going to make them so popular. And then Lyle, like, once this gets developed and we start to develop all these DAOs and we get some money in them and so forth, I mean, we got to do some serious thinking about how we make sure that this is all protected the way we want it. Yeah. For one, we're just going to keep it simple. I don't know, forgive me, but it's sort of a stupid analogy, but I heard about the sheep farm in Mexico. They had so many problems with coyotes and so forth. They just bring the sheep in every night behind like a 12-foot wall and then like run them back out in the morning. Like sometimes you just keep it simple, right? Just build a big fucking wall and keep the sheep behind it. So that's that. So Travis,
so many jokes that can like open to. I just that's like the opening joke for multiple other jokes.
I know. I've heard them all. Like, no, you grew up on a sheep farm.
Not that part. It's okay. Hey, I've got some questions though about the DAOs and just some thoughts that have come into my head, and if you don't mind.
Please.
Okay. So I, in all of your responses and like on Sundays live,
Uh-oh. You locked up.
It's usually me that locks up.
Yeah.
She'll be back. She's in Oregon. She's in Civilization.
Huh. Oops. Yeah, she'll be back.
So out of curiosity, do we have at least enough funding to, if I hit up Albert for a full license for Office 365 to get Word, Excel, PowerPoint? You're muted, James.
We're going to have a lot of money, like probably at the end of the week.
Okay, cool.
Like all the money we need, plus the Discord channel. I mean,
Yep.
like this serious cash flow.
Okay.
So
I'll
we're
hit up.
really close to like, you know, locking and loading on everything.
Yep.
To include, I have a friend who used to be a tenant who employs like 300 people doing internet marketing. And I just texted him and I was like, I said, dude, I have 16,000 followers. And he's like, are you Bruno? And I was like, yeah, dude, I'm Bruno. And I was like, how did you find me? And he's like, I don't know. I was looking at crypto shit and you came up. So he was a tenant in those buildings we have in Pittsburgh, 60,000 square feet. And he's, Jenny, I was just saying that I have a acquaintance friend who runs a pretty good internet marketing company in Pittsburgh. And I reached out to him and I said, hey, check me out on TikTok. And he was like, are you Bruno? And I was like, yeah, I'm Bruno. So that was funny. Small world. Go ahead, Jenny. Let's do Dow stuff.
okay, so I'm sorry, I don't know what happened to my internet. Even my net extender just crashed, and so I don't know. So I've been tracking everybody in your lives and on your page when I, see a video about who says they want in what area code. It was mainly from the American Boy song, song that you dubbed showing the Dow squared map. And lots of people said, oh, do you have this area code, whatnot? So I've been tracking those. I'm kind of thinking like, what about forming a weekly call within the Discord for founders of each area code and really channeling it that way. And that way we can all group together the folks who really want to take this initiative in their own area codes and let that sort of fuel itself moving forward. I think that'd probably be the easiest way to,
It's a great idea.
our beautiful cats.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a great
Cool.
idea.
Okay.
And I think my intuition is a lot of these people like sort of intuitively like, what are you doing? Like they sort of know it, but it sounds real complicated and it's really not. And yeah, I think like 12 minutes and everybody goes, holy shit, this is like really a big deal. And that's all we need is just a little bit of, and you should run that. You just take that.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
I'm happy to run that. Yeah. I've got my crypto salon is happening with or without live bodies on Friday at 5:30. Right now, 3 of my 4 closest girlfriends have been down with COVID here for over a week. Everybody's down. I'm just like, oh my God. So I don't know. I've got people invited and then by Zoom also. So one way or the other, I don't really care how many eyeballs show up for it. This is really putting the format together to move forward is what's important to me. So that's what I'm really focused on this week is just really fine tuning a full presentation. And then with them, my goal is to roundtable creative ideas about utilization in our communities and spark that where each individual feels empowered and empowered to actually make an impact within our communities, because I think that that's a really big issue with our existing banking structure is we feel powerless.
Yep.
And something with DAOs and switching over to this structure in whatever capacity, we're regaining our power to a great extent. So it's navigating the ability to have that and marrying it with this the fear of the unknown and the fear that we don't have the capacity to function within this space because of previous gatekeeping in different systems that we've all dealt with. So I think those are the hurdles I want to get past. Once we get past that psychological block that so many people have, I think we're wide open. And it really is up to the individuals within their regions to see the potential and run with it and implement it. And I just don't see how people won't see it.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab some coffee. That was great, Jenny. I'll be right back.
Hi, Lyle.
So, out of curiosity, so I'm trying to think of the practical, all the different practical uses for a DAO, and let's say the salon DAO. Now, one thing that
is not what that is.
Okay.
Salon, I'm using the word salon, not as in a hair salon, but as in like old timey, like everybody sits around and chooses it and figures it out. It's a back and forth, a creative space.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it used to be like
no DAO for Crypto Salon. Crypto Salon is a vehicle for creativity.
Perfect. Okay.
DAOs for area codes, DAOs for unique projects. Farming DAO, the growers DAO, OR54, all of that, yes, but not Crypto Salon.
Okay.
So keep going.
I'm just trying to think of all the practical, a simple practical concept that we could do on the blockchain to help spark the interest and get people over kind of the initial hump. So, I've been looking at some example code and stuff. One of them was just a real simple election, choose A, B, C, D type of thing. I'm wondering, as an example, and I need to still do a little more research to figure out how we can make it, I need to do a practical example. And I'm just wondering, maybe do an example of, let's pick what James is having for lunch next Friday. What color shirt is he gonna wear on his Sunday TikTok?
What color?
Something.
Why not have a weekly vote? Like, why not have a weekly weighted vote in our DAO Square Discord, in the Bruno Discord?
Exactly.
I love it.
Okay. Let me dedicate Thursday to me digging through the mechanics of that.
Beautiful.
I think, people get that big picture, but I don't see a lot of people narrowing it down to, here's a actual sort of practical use, even though there are great examples. Any of the you've got Uniswap, SushiSwap, all of that are great examples of it, but there's no great simple examples of, you set up this contract of all these, all the token holders get to vote on what color shirt he's going to wear.
Vitalik just said something about this recently. He said Ethereum is for more than DeFi.
Yeah.
And everybody just everybody thinks that Ethereum is Bitcoin 2.0, that it's a coin. It's not a coin. It just, that's just part of the functionality of it. Sort of like there's a button on my iPad. It's just so that I can home screen it and so forth. And it's like the button, and like it's to be used for all kinds of things. So, I mean, the tie thing would be funny, like paisley stripes, this, like something goofy
I
like
think
that.
would be great because you're so like known on TikTok for your ties. Everybody's always talking about your ties. I think the tie thing would be a really cute first one to do.
Yeah. Then Lyle, the other thing that it's trying to get across, I think there's, and I think about this and talk about this a little bit, but probably not enough. And Jenny's comments are sort of along this line that, so I'm presenting the whole DAO concept. I talk about social capital, but I talk about it as like a alternative to mutual funds.
Mhm.
But what I'm really trying to get across is like, there's $35 trillion in, I'm in my pantry with all the cans, like in a can of Prince Albert, like just locked up in corporate bullshit. Like it's not going to fucking pay you anything. It's not going to do anything. The only thing it's going to do is absorb inflation. That's the only argument for owning these things. And then, I'm just sitting here letting my wheels spin as Jenny was talking. Every once in a while I go back into this like Civil War thing. Like nobody knew what the fuck to do. Like as the Civil War started to go, like as they were winning, for example, like Grant's troops are walking this way and all these slaves are walking this way. And they're like, what do we do with them? I don't think people like, they haven't really thought, what do you mean? What would we do if $35 trillion was unlocked? They don't know, because everything in our system is captured by the banking system, and the government is captured by the banking system. So we're all like, what do we do? Like, we don't even know what to do with our freedom.
Yeah.
I mean, myself included. Like, we don't know what the thing on the other side looks like. And yeah, the crypto salon thing is so great. I mean, other than me, like, who likes to hear himself talk, what really needs to happen is people need to like talk amongst themselves and find out. Everybody's sort of programmed of like carbon is important in renewable energies, like, but people, I don't think like stand in their own community and go like, what the fuck? Like I do. I drive, because I think I'm from a rural area. I drive around and it's just incredible like how poor so much of America is. And it just much poorer than when I was a kid. And it's partly because people, it's not just money, it's they don't feel motivated, they don't care anymore. Like the town that I grew up in, literally there's a Walmart at one end of town and there's a jail at the other, and then there's just traffic in between. And there's no town anymore. The town is gone. There's a Walmart and a fucking jail. It's like, I don't know. So no, I'm excited for Jenny to pick this up and go with it, because there's so many other things that I want to focus on. Like I want to recruit I'd like to recruit 1,000 advisors next year. And I was thinking about it laying in bed last night. I could probably find published the payout ratios of all the regional brokerage firms and the big national wirehouses like the Merrill Lynch's, and we'll just post those, and then we'll just be like, fuck that, we're paying everybody 80 or 90%. And that's a big deal to incentivize people to do things differently. Anyways, just to jump around here for a minute, Travis, I know you have a day job. If you don't mind me asking in public, like, are you able to do the client service thing? Will you have enough time? Can you do it as like a side hustle?
Yeah, definitely. And I was just gonna say, like, my day job now is very flexible. So if it does end up going into something a lot bigger with the client services, I'll be able to focus on that more fully. And yeah,
Right.
maybe that's a discussion we could talk about a little later, that maybe could
Yeah.
involve compensation or something. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. We could either do it on a consulting basis or an hourly basis or whatever.
Sure.
So Jenny, let me you're hired, you know what I mean? Just go with this. Just like take it and run with it. Do you want to do a couple TikToks?
No. Listen, okay, so just to get this out on the table for everybody to be fully aware of,
No.
I've never wanted to be famous. I don't want to be in public. I don't want to be an internet personality or an influencer. I was forced by my current company to start a Facebook 4 months ago after I deleted it completely over a year ago. I've got like 100 friends, people that I know personally and actually like. That's it. I have a TikTok so I can learn and view specific categories of things. That's it. Like, there's nothing more ick to me than thinking of making TikTok videos. The fact that I'm on a Zoom right now without the sticky note on my camera is an evolution of my spirit. So, no, I'm not. That's just, I am very much of a creative thinker behind the scenes, and it's not my like happy space to be up there in front of the camera. It never has been in my entire life. And all the horrible in front of the camera experiences I've had doing infomercials and doing TV and doing advertising and doing it all, I hate it. So no. But in the future, I'm sure we're going to have events where I have to get over my little personal issues and get up on a stage and do the whole dog and pony show. And I'm happy to do that. But other than no, I mean, I just made my LinkedIn for you guys. I don't want to be on the internet. The other thing is I am a single woman, and with my name out there, I'm fully stalkable. I'm a homeowner. Oregon does not protect me in any way whatsoever from my identity being fully public. Like, it's a full disclosure state. They know where my front door is, and I've had stalkers go to jail in my life.
Yeah, I get it.
Being, having the licensing in Oregon that I have, even my LLC, like, I have no autonomy whatsoever, and it is scary. So I have to limit, because these people who have hurt me in the past are still walking this earth. They have served time because of me. That is my problem. I want nothing to do with putting myself out there like this. I want to let my brain do what it does and organize the way I organize, and let other people be our amazing show ponies.
Yeah,
So that's the whole story. That's the truth. I mean, that's, it's just so people understand, because I know it's not your typical answer from people, but that's why I'm so rigid in it. And I don't usually discuss it ever, but here I am, because I care about this project. I'm passionate about it. I believe in our future with this project fully. So I feel like I'm taking a risk in even involving myself in a lot of ways, in that I'm still a W-2 employee somewhere, first of all. And this is time off of my schedule that should be applied elsewhere, technically, right? Like, I've got a lot of navigating that I really have to do to keep within my own ethical standard on that end as well. So no, and maybe I'll change my mind down the road, but at this point, sorry.
Yep.
So,
I love it. What It Takes to Disappear in America. Beautiful.
so great book. So, and there's good guidance within it. Extreme privacy.
I love it.
Yep.
It's, it's easier to do when you're willing to live on a mountain and be off grid. And it's not so hard to do when you own a business and you own a home and you have no other person to put it under their name. Like, it's a full disclosure state. It just sucks.
Yeah.
So listen, this is another thing that I think that the DAOs are so cool for. Like, why won't I hold my real estate in the future in my own DAO, in my family's DAO, without my name on it, for people to come and find me?
That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'm gonna do a family limited partnership, and I live in a 4,000 square foot house, and the kids are pretty much grown, and I could probably rent this place for $2,200 a weekend, like without any trouble. Cool. So I have a good intuition about you, Jenny, and where you're like going with this. And I said something to Mel last week, something along the lines of, and you know, I like to say shit that's politically incorrect every once in a while just to razzle everybody. But the DAO concept is sort of a feminine thing. It's sort of a social capital-y thing that men, what social capital? What the fuck do you mean? Like, that's why I'm running around doing this like post-capitalism thing, because really what I'm trying to get at is like the conservative movement that I always beat up on is really like so asocial. Like I was just watching some fucking videos of Milton Friedman, like, why do we subsidize education in California? Well, I had the number 3 at Hewlett Packard explain to me that the reason Hewlett Packard globally could compete is because the state of California trained all these people in the state university system, you know, almost for free back in the 50s and 60s. And, you know, as the, sorry to riff here for a minute, but like, as the empire collapsed, people were trying to get on the fucking plane as it leaves Kabul and everything. It could be that Americans go like, what the fuck? Like, and look back home and go like, what have we been doing here for the last 40 years? And I think that's coming. And, you know, the cavalry isn't coming. I mean, Raoul Paul said that last year about COVID. If you want to look and see how fucked up this country is, look at the response to COVID. Like, we can't get fucking masks to people. That woman that I like, Stephanie Kelton, she said, just send everybody a debit card and 10 masks. Like, how fucking hard is that? We can't do anything. This country can't do anything at the government level, at the financial level. It's just all debt and propaganda and surveillance, and it's crumbling. And, you know, people have to do their...
We seem to be adept at obstruction. Lyle's waiting to say something.
You brought up a concept that sparked a light. You know, kids with schooling. I've seen a lot. I don't have any kids, but I've seen a lot of TikToks about how school boards have gone rogue. And the concept of utilizing a DAO to run the school board, essentially, your child's enrolled, you get a vote. You have 2 children enrolled, you have 2 votes for making the major decisions that a school board has, you know, currently has. So
yeah, I've got notes on that for different implementations of these projects, and one of them is school boards PTAs.
Yeah,
it would be a beautiful transition and a really great stepping stone into greater electoral body.
Yep.
What 4 ties do you want on that example contract, real quick?
The pilot tie, the striped pilot tie, the old school 80s paisley from the original videos.
And then big, I don't know, some of the ties are literally, somebody said early on, like my second, I don't know, like one of the third comments that I answered was like, somebody said, do you have any ties made after 1980? And literally like a year ago, my dad gave me this fucking huge bag. Like, I mean, it weighed like 10 pounds. He was like, here, I don't need all these ties anymore. So I threw half of them out and kept half of them. So like literally half of my ties are literally from the 1970s. And I think the first couple of videos, I literally went through the ties and I was like, I'm picking the weirdest fucker here I can find. And that, so, you know, that's what, cool. I have a good feeling about things. I really do. We just need like a little bit of activation energy, a little bit of money to prime the pump. So if we bring in a big chunk of change, which I think we're pretty close to doing, one of the first things we're going to do is go right to fucking Uniswap, and we're going to, it's not evil to create a market in your own entity. So what we would do is like buy low and sell high and create a market on Uniswap for the 72,000 DAO squared that are there. And really what that'll do is incentivize people to be like, you mean you're providing liquidity? Yeah. So if you buy it at 2, we'll buy it. we'll help support the price with you. And that'll bring, now, as you know, we have 150 million of these things, which we're just going to just bleed into the system, and that brings capital back out. It's going right to the staking pools. So the Discord channel is going to pay for our operations. I mean, this is like Jenny, I don't know. I need to send you like a bottle of wine or something because it was your idea. I mean, it's a completely different business model than, I mean, the more I think about it, it might be the new business model for investment advisory. Like, hey, you have this portfolio and I get to charge you 1% or 75 basis points. And like, what value are you really bringing? Well, nothing, but I get to charge you this and I make a lot of money and we play golf together. I mean, I'm being really, sort of dark about this, but did you guys see that? I put a TikTok up. Fucking Ray Dalio, Bridgewater Associates. It's the biggest hedge fund in the world. They manage money for like central banks and shit. They like advise central banks. They like advise the European Central Bank. Their allocation right now to stocks, 5%. Like that's like, I don't even remember people doing that before 2008. I mean, I don't remember any of that. That's one of the Discords I'm going to do is like pretty soon is like what life was like as a small town regional broker leading up to 2008, because it's actually quite colorful. I have some great stories. I think there'll have to be bourbon involved in that. But
so can I say something about that real quick?
Yeah.
Don't fall, just a little nugget, like falling into this, I'm just gonna say it, lazy trope of identifying the current real estate situation with the 08 real estate situation is wrong. The factors in 08 really had nothing to do with the current factors, marketplace factors, but 80% of the people run around and they're like, it's just like 08. Well, no, it's not. And if you believe that, you're missing the minutia of what's really going on. You're missing the entire story. All you think you know is the title of the book. But it's not. It's wrong. So I would be careful about, like, if you're gonna do that, be very clear about the factors in 08 and the differentiation between the factors we currently face, because they're vast.
Continue, Jenny.
Well, I mean, we don't have mortgage-backed security issues right now. It's not, all of the subprime issues are not occurring right now. I mean, all of those market factors. There's more. It's not the same landscape right now in any way that it was then.
Yeah, it's really weird to think of, but like 2008 can be, it's like 9/11 or something. It like makes everybody's head explode. But really what happened, it's as simple as foreigners no longer trusted our mortgages. Like we used to just bundle all these mortgages and hand them off to foreigners, China, European pensions, whatever. And that money just stopped. And then one day, Lehman Brothers, who was the biggest, do you guys know the name Jim Grant, wears bow ties? He has an interest rate, what's it called? Jim Grant's Interest Rate Observer, I think is the name of his newsletter. They interviewed him like right when the whole thing was blowing apart. And he has a good sense of humor, like a old Yankee kind of sarcasm to him. They're like, so Jim, what happened? He just said, mortgage sausage. And I remember seeing it for the first time. I fucking just started laughing.
Truly.
For like 2 minutes. Yeah, but
less than 2 minutes. We've got 1 minute. Can I push something real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
Kingdom Trust. Can you get us a referral code for sending people to set up there?
What do you mean? Yes, so that they know who we are. So as they're
Not
opening
only just that, so we can have compensation as well, or discounts for the people we send to them.
I don't think they can do that.
A
But we
lot of
can,
companies do. Let's ask.
okay. One of the things that I did, is 4 or 5 years ago, is I helped them with their Crowd America, which was like the entity putting the structures together. We helped them with their fees. Because these things aren't cheap. It's like if you have a relatively small account, it's a little pricey. So great idea, Jenny. I'll work on that. Why don't we,
Perfect.
cool meeting, great. We'll get this up behind the Discord channel. Hopefully Landon will have that nailed down.
I'm talking with Landon on Wednesday.
Cool. See you,
So-
everybody.
Great.
Bye,
Take care.
guys. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yep.